Welcome everyone to another episode of Kiwi Talks. I'm in the studio with the legendary New Zealand rapper MC Dilz and his hype man, his partner in crime, Ricky. How you guys doing?
Good, bro. I like that. I like that
Good, man.
introduction.
Good.
Yeah? Yeah. So you guys just had your gig yesterday in Hamilton. How'd it go?
No, it was mean. It was. I was saying to the bro that organised the event, it was probably the most professionally and well organised event that we've done for a while. Like, he did a good job putting it all together, and it was a good night.
Yeah. How so?
He just had everything running smoothly, and some promoters, bro, like they don't pay you for ages, and he had everything sorted. He had our hotel sorted. He had the show money sorted. He had the sound check sorted, and it was all like on point and on schedule. And just not many people operate that smoothly. So I was just quite proud to be a part of that.
So how often does that happen to you?
Like how
Where
it's
you
kind of
don't
like
get paid, or you get screwed over, or it takes you ages to get your pay?
No. Well, I always get paid. Like we go to the gym so that if anybody like tries not to pay us, we can show up to their door.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. No. So I've never had a situation where I haven't been paid. It's just sometimes they don't pay straight away. But it's kind of like 50-50 because I mean you're leaving the whole event in somebody else's hands. Like they're organising it obviously, and like we're talking about the support act side of things. I always have a say, but they organise the support acts, they organise the sounds, they organise the systems, they organise the DJs, they organise the promotion. I'm always trying to do my part and pushing it out there and letting people know and having my say in the support acts and that. But a lot of the event is left up to the promoters, and if they don't do a good job, it reflects on the show. So yeah, no, it's quite hit or miss, like 50-50. Like some promoters I've gone with and used, they've done like an amazing job, and some it's just on the night when the show comes through, you can tell that they didn't know what they were doing.
And then you don't work with them again?
No, why would I? Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You're a nice guy, so maybe.
I mean, I for the like the money side of things and that, like as long as I get in my side of things there, I mean, it almost like would put me in the direction of like working with them again. But at the same time, if it's not a good show, it's almost not worth it.
Yeah. Fair enough. And so what do you do, Ricky, when he starts getting pissed off?
Oh, I'm normally behind him.
He's getting pissed off.
I'm
too.
with him. Yeah.
There's nobody that's got my back like this far.
Okay, so you've seen every side of Dilz,
Yeah, man.
every
Yep.
possible scenario where he's been going through the ringer with promoters or other MCs. We won't mention anyone in particular, but you've always been there.
No, I've always been there. Yeah, every time.
Yep.
Time. Yeah. So it's I sort of know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
but, yeah.
And I think he's been with me since I opened for Sid Diamond and Scribe in 2019, and like the week of. So I think I found out about that show on a Monday, and I think we did the show on the Friday or something like that. And I rang him up and I was like, bro, you want to jump on this and do this and you be this? And he's like, yeah, hard. And so he came over and like we did like 1 or 2 rehearsals. He showed up. He only knew kind of like little bits and pieces of my songs, and we still tried to give it a go. And then like the next week, I was working as security at UCOL.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're having our graduation ceremony and like we're doing like this big performance thingy, and can you like headline that type thing? And I was like, hey bro, you know what you did last weekend? Do you want to do that again?
Stitch up.
Do you want to do that again this weekend? And he's like, yo, hard, let's go. And then all of a sudden it just grew from there. So we did those shows. And then we did like a bit of a tour last year before COVID shut it down. So we did Napier, Wellington, Levin. We did those Palmy shows. And we were supposed to do Auckland, Waiheke Island and Christchurch, but all of those shows, the Auckland show got postponed and the other shows got cancelled because of COVID. And then, we just kept going back and rehearsing and learning and growing and experience and just developing what we were doing. And now he's just a part of the set. I don't go anywhere without him.
Sweet. So how did you guys actually first link up? Like me?
We went to school together.
Yeah, college.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going through college, we were
High
bros
school
at college.
sweethearts.
Yeah,
There you know it.
and then after college, we kind of stayed in touch because we're both jamming Xbox. So we're sort of there playing Call of Duty together, and now we just do that and also do performing.
Yeah. So how did COVID change everything for you?
Oh, it just got in the way. Especially booking gigs kind of now, and you're like, obviously you can't just book a show this week and do it next week. It's got a lot of planning involved. So, like, for example, this Hamilton show was booked at the start of January and it's almost April. And anything could happen between now and then. Like, we've gone into level 2 twice, Auckland level 3 twice, and the rest of the country level 2 twice in that time. It's quite unpredictable. And, yeah, that can fuck up things.
Yeah. So are you able to have a backup plan in case that happens?
Not really. I did a show in Foxton towards the end of last year. I think it was September. That's when I proposed to my fiance. And
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. And for that show, obviously it had to go ahead because that was my plan, the whole show. That's why I put it on the show. Like, I had that plan. And we actually went into level 2. And the only thing we could do really was just make the limited ticket sales and just make sure that there was no more than 100 people there. So it's kind of just first in, first serve with the tickets.
Yeah. Makes sense. Has your process changed? I mean, last time you came on here, I think it was early last year. I think it was
the year before.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Because I think when I was on here last time, I'm pretty sure I was talking about that Sid Diamond and Scribe show. I think we'd either just done it.
Yeah.
Or
I remember
was
you
about to
mentioning
do
it. Yeah. Okay. And how much has changed in terms of your writing style and all of that since then? Or do you think it's largely the same?
No. So what I realized was we were doing these shows, and I was obviously just performing my old music because I took a break from music for like 2 years or something. And I was performing these shows, and I didn't feel like the music I had was the right music to be performing as such. So I went back to the drawing board and just started making new music that was inspired by wanting to have good songs to perform. And so I went and did all these shows last year and then came back and wrote like All My Bros and
Like Me and
Be Like Me and recorded ISnap and all of those types of songs so that when I'm performing, I can turn up and like put on a good show. So that, it kind of made me realize there were some songs missing from my catalog, and I just went and made them and added them to the catalog, I guess.
Is there any time where you don't have that in the back of your head and you write a song and then you're like, oh, this would be good to perform live? Because you know how there's some songs that are better suited to live than others.
I think it's always kind of in the back of my mind now. Like, obviously, you're not going to make this. I mean, you can make a love song and perform a love song. Like, I'm not saying you can't do that, but in terms of like the turn up songs, you kind of get that feeling as soon as you're making it, or as soon as you hear the beat, you're like, this is a song that you could perform live. Like, the beat is usually the indicator.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, because I'm working with EDY at the moment and Cody Wave quite a bit, and the beats they're sending me, as soon as you hear them, it's kind of like, I want to perform on this and I want to go and do my shows and do the song live,
Yeah. So are you constantly getting sent beats?
Yeah. So I've always worked with my main producer. So his name's Shane Buccanara. So he's produced all of Metamorphosis. Like, he's who I went back and forth with. I lived with him. We made my album together. Like, I'm always working with him. But then on the side, I'm working with a few, like I just said, EDY and Cody Wave. There's some mean as Kiwi producers. And then outside of that, I'm always getting like beat packs and people sending stuff to my emails. And I just did some stuff with like some guy called Bailey Watson from Christchurch. Yeah. So I've been using a few different producers, which is different as well. Because when I first started doing music, like up until like the start of last year, I would only use my bro Shane. And now I think I've been able to find a little bit of a different sound as well by experimenting on different people's beats rather than just using the same person's beats.
Yeah. Okay. Has Dilz changed much over the years as he's gotten bigger?
No, I think he's still the same, eh? That's the humble thing. There's
That's
no change and whatnot. So yeah.
Would you call him out if he did?
Yeah, of course. I keep him.
I have to keep his head in check. This guy,
hold on,
comes to the shows and gets a big head.
No, it's not. No, I'm networking. That's what it's called.
Yeah. VIP treatment though.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah. But as I said earlier, me and him get mixed up a lot, it's quite funny. But
how?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, you don't look the same.
Nah, exactly.
Similar build.
Yeah.
From literally the show that we did at UCOL, that graduation one, people coming up saying that, is that your brother? Is that your twin brother? And stuff like that. And it's kind of just carried on from there. And then we went to do Napier. People like, he's brothers. Like, everywhere we go, every show we perform, people think we're brothers.
I think it's because it's like the tats, and
But
we just play along with it because pretty good. I reckon.
Yeah, we're kind of the same person, you know, like we've got the similar personalities, and I think we mesh well. And
I agree with personalities.
I don't know why people think we're twins.
Mm.
So yeah,
Have you ever tried to pretend to be Dilz?
Oh, we've had a joke where we thought if he pulls out, I just jump on stage and say I'm Dilz.
Be like, yo, it's Dilz.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people you'd fool.
But like you was just saying, he turned up to the show last night before I did. So I got there at like 11 something. He got there at like 10 something. And he said people were coming up to him trying to talk to him like he was me. And he's like, oh, Dilz is not here. Like, he's still got to come down.
Yeah.
You should have just kept it up. Just kept
the
front up.
It's quite funny at Sound Valley. One guy was like, oh, bro, I love your lyrics. I was like, thank you, mate. And he's like, oh, I'll send you my email. And I'm like, oh, yeah, what's your number?
I didn't even know about that till just then. He's impersonating me. Isn't that illegal?
No, obviously we have to talk about the controversy of the Auckland gig that went down.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened. Like beforehand, were you getting any red flags?
Oh yeah, there was red flag you know, when I was just talking about the 50-50 with the promoters, that wasn't a very good promoter situation. A lot of shit wasn't going the way it was supposed to go. But for the actual event, I thought, you know, once you're at the event, there's the sounds going, everybody's performing, and there's a bit of a crowd. It's kind of, you think it's going to be a given that you're going to be doing your performance. And yeah, my fiance stepped out the front to have a vape, and I went out with her. And I think there was about 2 sets before my set. And when we tried to come back inside, the door person was trying to ask her to pay. And I said, no, 1, she's my +1 and I'm the main act, so she's not paying. 2, she's been here for the last like 2 hours. 3, she's got a stamp on her hand. Why she got to pay? And they were like, oh, because it's later on in the night, so now the prices have gone up or something like that.
What?
Yeah. I said, no, she's not paying. And then so I was arguing with them for like 5 minutes at the door. And then I ended up just saying, hey, look, you can get fucked. And I grabbed her hand and started walking through the venue to go towards the stage in that area. And the bouncers grabbed me and chucked me out, and I was telling them all to get fucked. And then, yeah, we shut the show down. But at the end of the day, like, that's bullshit, you know?
I can add on to that. So when that happened, I was on stage, right, and the music all got cut out, and we're trying to figure out why. And then it sort of ties in with his story that I think that's when he got kicked out, they cut all the music off at the back, and then it sort of got heated on stage, like the DJ threatening to give him a hiding, and it got a bit intense, and then we all went out front to find out what was going on, and then that's when I saw Dilz and Ottawa out there. So, yeah.
So what did the manager say? Because the manager must have been around, right?
Yeah.
And usually the manager would probably tell the bouncers, hey, this is the situation.
The manager of Trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had an issue with me right from the start. We were all up on the counter where they were serving drinks, and there was like a big jug of water, and I'd accidentally spilt it. Like, I think I knocked it, and I was like, oh shit, my bad. And he like gave me the death stare. He was like stepping me out from behind the counter. I was like, oh, this fellow. And then he fucking started flicking the water at me. And that right there, I was like fucked off about that. I was like, this guy, who's he think he is? Like, fuck this guy. But so that was like, it was an accident, you know, my bad, I spilled the water, but he handled it in a way that he was trying to intimidate me. I wasn't intimidated. But and then that kind of, I think, probably set a bad tone for him as well. Like, I don't think he liked me. And then so when it happened and the bouncers and that were trying to get rid of me, it was him telling them to get me out.
But that doesn't make any sense to me, because as a promoter, it's all about reputation. So why the hell would you sabotage your reputation?
No, so there was the manager of the venue. The promoter was a middleman, so the promoter wasn't involved with any of that.
Right.
No.
Okay.
So this was the venue.
Yeah.
So did you speak to the promoter afterwards and explain the situation?
I did explain the situation. There just wasn't really much they could do about it.
That was it, done.
Because how did you wind up at that venue anyway? Did you contact that promoter specifically, or did they contact you?
No, so true. Like, this is a true story. I've never reached out to any promoters. So any show I've done has been promoters coming to me. I haven't actually put myself out there like that yet. I haven't gone out and tried to set up shows. Promoters have just come to me, and so they contacted me, like I said, previously in the year before the show got postponed. They're like, oh yeah, we want to bring you up to Auckland and we'll do this show and blah, blah, blah. And then that got postponed because of COVID. And then after we came out of lockdown, they set the show up again, and they organised the venue. Obviously, we're on the other side of the North Island. We just pretty much got our flights up there and went with the flow. But yeah, no, they organised the whole show.
So from the time that a promoter contacts you to the time that the event happens, how long is it roughly?
Usually around 2 months.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
It is. It's kind of like a month of organising behind the scenes and then a month of like once the poster's out there and promo and pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in saying that, there's sometimes like I'm already booked in for like Wellington, and that's August 7th. Like we haven't pushed that at all yet, obviously, and like that's I think like 4 months out. And I'm also booked in for Christchurch on June the 12th. So like I do try to have a big window so that there's a lot of room to get everything organised so that there's no fuck arounds at the end of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you creatively get burnt out though? Because you work as well, right?
Yeah, I work full time. Like, I feel like I'm forever working, literally. Like, because I go to work Monday to Friday. My job hours 8:30 to 5, and then the weekends. Like for the last 4 weeks, we've done shows. So like it's been 4 shows over 4 weeks in Levin, Wanganui, Palmerston North, and now up here in Hamilton. And then in between that, I've done like these sorts of things. I've done like I did an interview for some university last week. The week before that, I did an interview for Kia Ora FM in Palmerston North, like a radio station, and we're doing this. And so I don't really get too much free time. And then yeah, I do kind of feel like I get burnt out. I start getting like stressed, and like I let my fiance know I'm like I feel like I'm feeling it today. You know, like I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. And then I just try to have a step back. You know, turn my phone off or have a night where I'm just like chill, and then I get back into it.
Yeah. Because I find it with a lot of creative people, particularly in New Zealand. I mean, they get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because most of them hold down full-time jobs as well as being a musician.
Exactly. Like I'll be a påhara if I quit my job. I don't make enough money off music.
Yeah. Well, people seem to think that, you know, when you're a pretty well-known musician in New Zealand, that's it. But a lot of these dudes have full-time jobs.
Yeah. Hard.
I remember Hummel had like Sid, like quite a few of them.
Yeah, and Sid's proud of his full-time job. Like he's out there posting his stories, doing his lines work and that all the time. Like
Yeah. So the plan is to do this full-time at some point.
Nah, it's always just been a side hustle for me.
Oh,
I've
right.
just always I always have my full-time job.
Yeah.
And then I've just always had the goal of music being a second form of income. Yeah. So, and I mean, I'm at that point now. I mean, I've been doing this for like 19 years, and I'm finally at that point where it is a second form of income. But I don't think I'd ever want to put myself in the position of leaving my job to do music.
So what would be your advice to other up-and-coming musicians, singers, rappers?
Don't leave your job.
Well, yes, that's pretty good advice.
I don't know, just it's not all what it seems like, you know. The same in America either. I mean, people over in America, they've got like these opportunities where all these artists that I don't even hear of, and then you see them with all these millions and cars and stuff, and it's like, how do you make that much money? I've never even heard of you. New Zealand, you could look at the top New Zealand artists. I don't even think they're making enough money really to make a living off it. I mean, a comfortable living. There's no millionaire artists in New Zealand as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
I remember because I worked for APRA at one point
Yeah.
for about 9 months. So I saw what some of the singers and rappers were getting paid. Yeah. You could definitely tell that they'd be doing another side hustle.
Yeah.
Or working a full-time
Well,
job.
that's why a lot of people venture into the like they do their music avenue, but then they got their side hustles. For example, like Ty from Smash Proof, he's just started his own clothing label and he's pushing that Twick, and that's just another form of income for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you want to get into all that stuff, like more merchandising-based stuff?
No,
Or venture out more?
I don't know. I'm quite happy just doing what I'm doing. I've just started working with like a local artist, and you know, I do a bit of engineering and that. Like I used to do mixing and mastering for Jay Williams, so I've just started doing a little bit of that kind of stuff for some other artists on the come up now too. And I shot and directed a music video like a couple weeks ago, like little side things like that. But yeah, no, I'm pretty content just doing what I'm doing and carrying on.
Yeah. What about you, Ricky?
Oh, yeah, I got a full-time job, man.
Yeah.
Sort of the same boat as him. Sort of my life's all go, really. So this sort of does get a bit draining, that's for sure. So I'm sort of looking forward to having that break period and then kick off in June. So, yeah.
So what happens if he has a gig and you can't make it?
Never happens.
He's never hit.
Never ever
never
happened.
happened.
There's never been a show where he hasn't come.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully I haven't jinxed it.
Yeah, nah. So whether it's like we got to drive 6 hours to Hamilton, like we've done, he's there. Whether we've had to fly to Auckland, he's there. Whether it's last minute, like the Sid Diamond show, he's there. He's like literally the best sidekick you could ask for.
Right. Okay.
I'll
Have
tell
you
what,
have you prepared for the day that
Oh,
he might not be there?
I know I can like do a show without him if I needed to. But I kind of feel like if you're booking Dilz, you're booking both of us.
Yeah.
If you're coming to see Dilz, you're seeing the both of us. If it's a show of mine, it's a show of ours. So yeah, it's almost like saying, "Are you prepared to see a show where Dilz isn't there?" You know what I mean?
Well, considering people think you're the same guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He can show up and be me. I can have a night off, and then I'll get paid for it though.
Are you because I know you lived in Sydney for a time. Once this Trans-Tasman bubble happens, whenever the hell that is, will you do some shows or something in Australia?
I definitely want to go back to Australia. So my fiance lived in Brisbane for like years, and I obviously lived in
Nice.
Sydney. And I want to go back to say, because I never really got to say a proper goodbye to my friends over in Sydney, my workmates and all that, because I had to up and leave because my sister had a car accident, so I flew back home the next day. And I've always wanted to go back to Sydney to say my goodbyes and kind of show her where I was in Sydney, and she wants to show me where she was in Brisbane. So if we're going to be over there, I'd probably try to line it up to do a show or something like that.
and I'll be there.
Probably have to bring him for the memory
bring
lane
me.
trip. It'll be like a third wheel, but not because he's just always there anyways.
Yeah.
I just do my own thing, so it's all right. Yeah.
So when you get married, is he going to be standing next to you as well?
Yeah, so I'm not going to actually turn up to that either. So he's going to be Dilz on that day. But, no. I was actually at the Sound Valley. We performed at a festival called Sound Valley in Wanganui. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was a massive. Like I got to meet Kings. Like I've always wanted to meet Kings, and I was quite happy to know that he knew who I was. But there was some massive acts up on that lineup, and when I did my set, I asked him to be my best man during it. So I guess he's going to be by my side through the whole wedding process and that too.
Just not an after function. Yeah.
What you doing for that?
Something off air, I'm sure. So in regards to battle rap, because I know we touched on this last time, because I kind of feel that's like the one area you haven't really done anything.
Yeah. Do you want to battle rap me? I'll battle rap him.
You already know I can't rap, so
Yeah, that's
we'll
why I
leave it as
battle
that.
rap him.
Because you'd win. Yeah. You wouldn't want to do it?
Nah. No, so I was actually saying I was talking to the radio. I had a radio interview a few weeks ago, and they asked me similar questions. They were talking about the battle rap and that, and I compared it to, it's kind of like martial arts, and I feel like just because you're good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're not going to be good at Muay Thai necessarily. You're not going to be able to be BJJ master and jump over to Muay Thai and be the Muay Thai master just because you know how to do BJJ. So it's almost like battle rap and like freestyle raps and, you know, creating the music side of hip hop and all of these different aspects of the hip hop genre. Just because you're the master of one doesn't mean you're going to be good at the others. So I feel like, you know, battle rap's karate to me, and I'm over here doing, you know, jiu-jitsu. So I don't want to go get my ass kicked in karate because I don't know how to do karate.
What if they got you to battle someone who was on like a similar caliber?
I reckon if it was Tom Francis, you would.
Yeah, no, I'd do anything with. I can step in the ring with Tom Francis. I'll battle rap Tom Francis. I got a bone to pick with him.
Well, you got your money back, or some of it. The settlement's done, eh?
The city, yeah. So, ended up going like through the debt collections and stuff like that. He was, it was still messy. He tried sending me a non-disclosure agreement before he would send me the money, saying that I would never talk about his name again. And like literally, he sent me a contract, and if I signed it, he had agreed to pay me the money within 7 days or something like that. But I was never allowed to reference his name or use his name in vain. Like, I wasn't allowed to talk shit about all this bullshit. And I said, fuck your contract. I don't even care if I don't get the money. Like, I'm going to talk my shit about you. And so I threw the contract away, but I still got the money in the end. So,
yeah. Would there be any circumstance where you'd make peace with the guy?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nah, he's a horrible human. There's no room in my life for somebody like that.
Yeah, oh, well, hey, I mean, I think he might be the single most hated rapper in New Zealand.
I can't even...
I haven't met any rapper that has anything good to say about him.
I wouldn't even
none.
consider him a rapper.
Like literally none.
Yeah.
There was this one other podcaster that I know, and he asked me, he's like, "Do you want to? You should get Tom Francis on your show." I've got his email. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not keen."
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I'll be interested to get him. To be fair, but I'll be interested to see what he says.
Well, one, I don't think he
definitely.
would agree, because two, because he's already tried to take down my previous podcast with Dilz. He tried to take it down, so he obviously doesn't like me. And two, if I did get him on, like, I kind of feel like I'd be giving that guy more exposure.
Yeah.
It'd be like getting Brian Tamaki on, or like someone like who's the crazy conspiracy theorist?
Is that the fella from Auckland?
Who had that political party, Advance NZ? What's his name? What's his name? You know the guy? Crazy dude. Well, anyway, conspiracy theorists, right? So, like, why have him on here, and then he can just spout his shit?
Yeah, spread more shit. But yeah, no, Tom is a fucking liar too. So you get him up on here, and then it'll be like, you can't trust nothing he's saying. Like, he talks shit.
He knows where we're at.
He knows where I'm at. Yeah, but it's like also when I got announced for the Sound Valley Festival, I got a phone call from the promoter of it, and they're like, "Hey, look, we've got allegations that you've got a sexual assault claim against you." And I was like, "What? Like, what the fuck are you talking?" Like, I was literally I was at the police station when I got this phone call, and so I literally just said to the police officer, "I was like, hey, do a file check and then sort this out, because I know I don't have no fucking sexual assault claim against me. So do a file check on me, send that to her or whatever happens there, and then get this sorted, because that's a load of shit." And the only person I can think of that is bitter and twisted enough to ring up a promoter when they see my name end up on a festival and be like, "Oh no, he's got pending sexual assault charges." Is it not like an obvious answer as to who that probably was? Like, that's fucked up. Whoever did that, if it was Tom or anybody else, you're a piece of shit.
Well, I don't even know why you'd do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make
Just
any
because
sense.
Why would
exposure, maybe exposure.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't have the same effect here that it would, say, maybe in America. I don't think you'd get like a lot of fame from it.
Yeah, well, I'm
For something big.
I know I'm a family man. Like, I don't even go out on the weekends. Like, you can ask this fella. He tries to get me out all the time. Like, I'm at home with my family and my fiance. Like, I'm not out sexually assaulting people. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, have you been present during all this crap with Tom Francis?
I'd say, well, when we've catch up, we normally touch base on it, but I wouldn't say like the full-on finer details like emails and the other side of things. But normally, I have been here.
I think the most important presence that he had was when we went to Napier, which is his hometown. We went to Napier to perform a gig in Napier, because I did Where I'm At, and I said, I'm gonna come through to your town and I'll play my disc, bitch, suck my dick. Like, we went to Napier. We called the show the Fuck Tom Francis Show, and we did a show in his hometown, in his backyard. That was me and him, and we didn't have no security or nothing. I don't care. He talks all this shit about who he's gonna rock up with or how he's gonna get back at you, and all these big boys and security. Fuck all that shit. Me and him just went to just us two rock up to Napier, and we performed the Fuck Tom Francis Show.
Is that the same one where you got the whole crowd to say it with you?
I do that every show. I did that last night. Do that every show.
Every show.
Every show I say Fuck Tom Francis and get the crowd to say it too.
Yeah. We're about, is it right after that song?
No, right before it.
Yeah.
Oh, right before it.
Yeah.
Get them all going.
Amp them up so that they know who we're talking about the whole song.
And then you post the snippets on social media?
Yeah. If the crowd's going hard and saying Fuck Tom Francis, then just get it out there.
Yeah. I saw you've finally joined TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't done anything yet. They're like, if you're out there and you're watching this, go follow me. I think it's like Dilz Music. DILZ, but yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't even.
we got some plans. I think I think I'm gonna try and involve like what we do with the music, but like a bit of skits in that. So yeah. I think it'll be alright.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't like TikTok.
I'm the producer, so
TikTok's really good because the algorithm works differently compared to Facebook.
I know
and
Facebook
Instagram.
limits the shit out of everything. Like,
particularly music.
I've got like nearly 12,000 followers on my Facebook page, and like we'll post something and get like 8 likes, and it's like, really? And it's like, boost this post to reach this many more people, but you have to pay $40 a day, and it's like, you can get fucked. Like, I worked hard to get these 12 followers. Why am I paying you $40 a day to keep them? Like, that's bullshit. Like, but yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, I understand. Like TikTok, it's not as strict. Like, and that's the same as like I was always quite heavy on Snapchat because you can put out a song, post it to your story on Snapchat with the whole swipe up to follow the link or whatever. And then if you've got like 1,000 followers on Snapchat, they're all going to see it because there's no limits. You know what I mean? It doesn't limit your reach. So that's what I found about Snapchat. So I understand how TikTok would be good in that aspect, but I just hate the platform. I think it's stupid. Every time I fucking open it, it's just girls fucking pulling up their bikinis and getting 500,000 fucking likes. And it's like, what the hell did you do that was talented enough to get 1 million views because you pulled up your bikini like that? Like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Makes me want to jump on there and put a bikini on or something and like pull it up.
Well, do it. Test that theory.
Just do it. See if I get 1 million views.
I think you will.
Yeah. Do you want to film it, bro?
Yeah, film it. Yeah, bro, pull it up.
hey, we'll retake that one. Your balls fell out.
Oh, shit.
So, because you've been doing this for ages, like music for quite a while, I imagine it, because I view it like a canvas, right? You got a blank canvas when you first start music, and as time goes on, you're kind of filling up that canvas. Because when I was doing hip hop, I got to a point where I'm like, I don't even have anything new to rap about now. What the hell do I rap about?
Yeah, I hit those blocks.
Yeah. So, like, how do you overcome those?
I don't know. It's sometimes, like quite often when I'm making my music, because like we were just talking about, like I'm busy, like I work full time in that. So I'm sitting there on my breaks, my 15-minute breaks, going to the car and writing some lyrics, or on my lunch break and stuff like that. And I'm at the gym trying to do my workout and I'm writing down lyrics, and then I come home, and then before we settle down and have our dinner and stuff like that, I'm quickly like, hey babe, I need to go to the recording studio, because like, especially when I'm getting collabs, because a lot of people hit me up for verses and stuff like that. So I'll go and quickly smash out this verse before I can settle down for the rest of my day. And I'm just writing the lyrics throughout my day on my breaks and stuff like that, because I'm always like on our way here, literally on our way here, she was like, that's where our room is, because we were just at the hotel. She was pointing out the window. She's like, that's where our room is. And I was like, okay, sweet as. Room is, that rhymes with rumors. Like, I'm going to turn that. And so I wrote that down on my phone. So I'm always writing. I just write as I go. And especially life experiences, you know, the big songs. But I sit and rework songs so much. Like, for example, I put out ISnap like February. So last month, I put out ISnap. If you're on my laptop, like these fellas have heard it. If you're on my laptop, I've got versions of that date back to 2015. I sat on that song and reworked it for 6 years. So
holy crap!
I reworked the shit out of my stuff until I feel like it's good enough to be heard. And yeah, so I guess I do hit those roadblocks where I feel like I don't have anything to write about. But if I hit that, I kind of just go back to my old stuff and I see what I can do with it and evolve it and turn it into something that I want to put out.
Yeah, that makes sense. But do you feel though that like sometimes, how do you put it? Like you've kind of reached a plateau though, and you'll never get better.
I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm always getting better. Like if I listen to my music in 2013, which sounds horrible, and never go through my music and listen to that stuff, but then I listened to my music in 2015, and then I listened to my Metamorphosis album, which was 2017, and then I listened to what I was doing when I came back from my 2-year break when I was living in Sydney. I didn't do any music in that, and then I started putting out like Rewind and All My Bros, and we put out like a decent amount of songs. By the way, if you ever see my music videos, he's also there for every music video. Like this guy's been in every music video for like the past year and a half.
Apart from ISnap, so it's the only one I didn't make.
Yeah. But and then you listen to what I'm working on now compared to the stuff I put out last year. I always feel like you can hear the growth. I always feel like I'm learning new things, or I see when I go back to my older music what I did wrong or what I could do better. I forgot the question. What was the question?
Do you ever feel like you've hit a plateau?
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm never going to get better than this?
Yeah. No, so I I get this thing like where I'm like, this one is the song, you know, I feel like this is the song. When I put it out, it's going to go big. This is my moment. And I feel like that about certain songs. Like when I did Wait On You with Jay Williams and Ty, I was like, this is my song. When I put this out, I'm fucking, that's me. I'm out there. I'm big. And I put it out there and I didn't do that. And I was like, what? Like, I can't do better than that. Like, I felt like that was my moment. And then I did the same thing when I put out Rewind. I felt like, you know, this is my song, this is my moment. And I put it out there and it didn't do what I thought it would do. And I'm like, oh, fuck, like I can't beat that. Like, that was it. And then I put out Don't Trip, you know, that's Ty and Mikey Mays. And I did the same thing for that. I was like, this song, once it gets out there and everybody hears this, that's me. Like, I'm out there. And then it put it out there and it didn't do it. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do in that regard. I'm like, I feel like I run out of the songs that I think are going to be the one. I'm kind of like, okay, I just can't make the one. But in terms of making music, I feel like I don't really hit a wall. I just need to take a step back, reevaluate, and then come back at it with a fresh, like, train of thought. And just like I said, if I feel like I can't creatively make new music, I just go back and work on my old stuff.
You know, with his music too, I always find his lyrics that are on point. You know, there's meaning to it. But if you listen to, I guess, the now music, you know, the lyrics talking about tea towels and putting a pie in the oven and
I haven't heard
ta
that
ta
song.
ta ta. No, there's some songs even you're thinking, what the fuck is that? But everyone still listens to it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I reckon I get it frustrated when you put something out. I'm like, man, this is a banger. And you just listen to the lyrics and the beats on, and then you hear the music that's up there, and you're just thinking, what the fuck am I listening to? Like, if you sit there and listen to the lyrics, you know, the beat may be cool, but you listen to the lyrics, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's he singing about? Oh, okay, bitches, and da da da. And it's just nothing to it, you know what I mean? There's no meaning behind it. It's just they're throwing words together, and it just goes huge. So,
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah. I think it's the sheep effect, right? Because it's all the marketing train. So people just almost get programmed to like this stuff.
Yeah, and if you hear it enough, it gets stuck. Like, I'm a victim of that. Like, I used to hate, like, Tekashi 6ix9ine, for example. But now, like, I started hearing his shit so much, you know, that I started to like it. And I feel like that kind of thing happens. Like, you could put out a
you
song.
listen to his lyrics, and I'm like, what is it? Like, they don't even make sense, but it's a banger.
Yeah. And you're like, fucking, I'm going to turn up, go to the gym. I want to listen to this, even though he's talking a whole bunch of bullshit. But, and that's the thing as well. I feel like there's different music for different things that you're doing. I mean, you're not going to listen to like some Tekashi 6ix9ine at your wedding, but you're going to listen to that when you're going to the gym. So I feel like every song or every artist and every music has like a time of the day or a time and a place where you can listen to it and it all makes sense. But yeah, I understand what he's saying. Like, I put in all this effort and then there's people out there doing fucking nothing and then they get huge and it's like, well, why didn't I just do nothing? Like,
Yeah.
it's a kick in the guts.
I think some of it as well is because in America they have a big, you know, they have these big marketing campaigns and they have a lot more money
Yes.
that's put behind them.
Yeah.
So they automatically end up in the spotlight just because of, you know, somebody sponsoring them pretty much
and
with
then
millions of dollars.
And then some chick pulls up her bikini with that song in the background and that's fucking just as big as the bikini video.
Yeah.
The injustice, right? The injustice. You mentioned that you're always writing.
Yeah.
Do you find that you struggle to sleep? Because you,
Yes.
yeah.
I
Because
struggle.
I used to have the same problem.
Yeah.
Like I'd just be thinking all the time about rhymes.
Yeah,
And
no,
I got to
I
the point where I had to just stop writing for a while, just so I could kind of get some mindfulness back.
Yeah, I struggle with sleep every night. Like, if I'm going to sleep, it's usually like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm getting up like 5 hours later to go to work. Like, I really don't sleep much, and it's just because my mind doesn't shut off because I'm always busy. And if I'm not thinking about, because obviously I work a full-time job, and I work like a job where I'm like I've got my own, like I'm
Self-employed?
no, not self-employed, like, but within the job, I've got my own workload. Like, nobody tells me what to do.
Oh,
So
right.
I handle my own workload, and I'm sitting there thinking about that kind of thing as well when I'm at home. But then I'm thinking about the music and what I can do, and I've got to sort out this. I've got this interview coming up, and I've got this song that I need to put out. I've got this beat from the bro. I need to do this. I've got this collab that I needed. This person just paid me to do this collab. I've got this show coming up. We need to do a rehearsal. Like, it's crazy, and my brain just doesn't shut off. Yeah, that's what gets on top of me too, the stress.
Do you take anything at night? And I don't mean like drugs, but
Yeah,
like
no,
stuff.
I take crack.
No, but what I mean is like, do you take like any what is it, like magnesium or any type of supplements or anything?
Nah. So I think it was about 8 weeks ago. I was in the gym and I tore my pec muscle, and it's like really bad. Like I've been going to I had to have an MRI scan last week, which sucked. Like I get claustrophobic, and I'm in this machine like strapped down. I just sit there for an hour. I was like sweating, like oh fuck, that was horrible. But so I had to have an MRI, ultrasound, all these things. So I'm actually having to get flown up to Auckland for them to reattach my muscle to the bone because I snapped my tendon, and so that has been giving me grief for like the last 2 months. So quite often at night I take a tramadol. Or
Still goes to the gym though. Funny.
Yeah, still go to the gym. I just don't work my chest. But so I take a couple tramadols if I'm sore. That kind of helps me sleep because that kind of gives you that knocked out daisy feeling. But outside of that, I never take anything. I just drink my water and try to go to bed.
Wow. So when's your surgery happening for your pec?
I don't know. I find out on Tuesday. So I did the MRI on Thursday. And I had to follow up with the physio on Tuesday. He's got to let me know when we're looking at doing the surgery.
Because is that private or are you going through the public system?
No, going through ACC's covering it. Like, apparently it's going to be really expensive. So, I mean, the MRI scan itself was $1,500 apparently. Like,
Yeah.
ACC covered that. So,
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything private, no.
Okay. Yeah, because usually they put you on a waiting list, right?
Yeah, but it's urgent. Like I have to get flown to Auckland because there's only like one expert in the country, this certain person that can do the surgery. Like that's how fucked up it. And these like the physio's like, yeah, just so you know what's going to happen, they're going to cut you open and they're going to drill holes in your bone. And I'm like, hold on, I don't want the surgery anymore. I'm all good. Let's fuck it out. Yeah, and I've had like nightmares about it. Like I'll be going to sleep at night and I'll wake up with like a panic attack because my chest, like I've relived the moment of when I ripped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you Google it? Do you
I
Google
YouTubed it. I fucking looked on YouTube.
Shouldn't have done that, man.
Nah.
That just scares you
If
more.
I Googled it, I'd be like, torn pec muscle. I'd be like, oh, yeah, you have cancer.
yeah. That's why I stopped doing that. Every
Yeah.
time something happens, injury or some sort of gut problem or something, you just Google it, and then it gives you like the worst
Scenario.
case
Yeah.
scenario.
I've got a sore stomach. Oh, you got gut cancer. I've got a sore you got bicep cancer.
Yeah. It's worst case, eh?
Yeah. But no, yeah. So I YouTubed it and I was like, no, fuck that. And because I'm tattooed, so like my chest and all that's all tattooed. I'm like, I really don't want them to fuck up my tattoos because I paid so much money to get my tattoos. I don't want to fucking get them all scarred and ugly.
Fair enough.
The funny thing is, we told him, I said, go get it checked out, but stubborn ass here. Oh, no, it's all right. 3 weeks later, 4 weeks, oh, it's still sore. Well, should have got it checked out ages ago, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the longer you leave it, the worse it can be, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I thought, fuck, I hurt myself, it will heal. But it's like my whole arm was turning out like purple and shit, and I couldn't even, like, I literally couldn't cut my food, and I couldn't put the pepper on my steak, couldn't push my chair, and I still literally I can't lift nothing. Like so my muscle was ripped off the bone, so it's like I don't got any strength. So yeah, it was bad when I did it. It was like the most painful thing I think I've ever experienced, and I just thought, if I left it all come right. But after like 6 weeks, I was like, oh, I better go see the doctor.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they're like, yeah, no, you're fucked. Now they're like, now we need to drill your bones and shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have went to the doctor.
Should have just left it. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah.
I don't need to do push-ups.
So what's the plan over the next year or so in regards to music?
Keep doing some shows. Like I said, we got a few shows coming up. Now that I got a taste of like the festival side of things, I want to try and get involved with more of that. Definitely, like that's a goal, not a plan, it's a goal. Working with some new producers, like I said, I'm working with EDY and Cody. I've worked with Cody Wave for a bit, but putting out more music with them. Another goal of mine is I want to get some New Zealand on air funding for a music video. Like that's a goal of mine. And now that I've done the festival and stuff like that, I've got the criteria where I can apply for that. So I definitely want to try and get my foot in the door there. I've got new songs that I've pretty much got a whole album done, but the consumer, when they're listening to music nowadays, don't have the attention span to listen to a whole album. So I've just been drip feeding the album out there. So it all started, I put out the song called I've Been, and if you notice, it says intro next to it. That is the intro to my album. and everything after that.
Oh,
Everything after that has been singles, songs from the album. I'm just drip feeding the album out there because people don't have the attention span to listen to a whole project. So, yeah, I've got an album done and we're just putting it out. I've got the next single's titled Speed Limits, and we've shot half the music video. We still need to shoot the other half of it when we get some spare time, because that's what we're talking about. Always busy. And outside of everything, we've got to shoot music videos. We've got to do these photo shoots. We're sponsored by Zero Fucks and stuff like that. So we've got to try and get them out there and promote them, make them look like there's so much that goes on. But so Speed Limits, we're dropping that probably like next month or the month later.
I'd say next month will be our stuff will be ready.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then just keep going. I'm working with some of the same artists I've worked with. I've got more music coming out with Ty, more music coming out with Jay Williams. Just done a new single with Sid Diamond last week, and I'm working with some new artists like Nicki Montana, and got some more music with some international artists like Swizz. Yeah, no, I'm just working on music and putting it out there when I feel like it needs to be heard.
Cool. Sweet. All right. Well, I'll probably wrap up there. Where's the best place to follow you?
Not TikTok. If you go to my TikTok, you won't see nothing. But no, you can follow me on everything. So DILZ, Dilz. And yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok now, Snapchat.
We want to grow that TikTok, so give them a follow.
Yeah. And the bro, put your platforms out there.
Yeah. Where can people follow
He's
you?
on
bro?
Instagram and that.
Nah, just my name, Ricky Hawthorne. You follow me on Insta, Facebook, TikTok even. Slick Rick is the name.
Slick Rick.
But
I'm pretty sure there's already a Slick Rick out there.
Hey, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. But yeah, like this, you can follow me if you want to give us a follow. So yeah. Sweet.
All right. Well, that's the show. But before we go, Dilz is going to perform ISnap. You've probably heard it everywhere. So yeah, he's going to do it right here on the show. Sweet. Okay, here we go. ISnap. Dilz and Ricky, man.
Fuck up.
You ready, bro?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Say something good about me. When I get going, can't stop, there's no brakes. And this is my job, oh work, no play. Dylan is driven, but ignore the road rage. I've gone rogue, I'ma unload, there's no way. Stopping, repping, foxing, yeah, that's my hometown. About to get it popping like a bubble the zone now. I'm so mature that I throw down. Someone go and pull the curtains back and it start the show now. I never see this idle time. The rappers that you idolize are righteous, saying high on line. Next thing you know, they're reciting lines for our track and the words is amazing. With a telescope, can't see where I'm aiming. You living your life in the daydream. If you think what you say is ever gonna faze me, I'm working on my craft every second I have, to the point that my mouth is a weapon of mass destruction. When I get on a track, so when the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap. Go Ricky, it's your birthday.
Yep. Say it again.
When the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap. Yeah. Whoa.
Let's go, Dilz.
When the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap. Like a bad temper, boy, you were tripping, no adventure. Welcome to a summer mind. What you gonna find? Shoes off and enter. Lost in my thoughts like a labyrinth. Never know what's gonna happen. When I'm on the mic and I'm rapping, I make magic. Call me Aladdin. You would never fly in the first place. Friday to Thursday, wasting your life in the worst way. Calling me sick when I rap, start applying the first day. Killing all these rappers and I'm driving the hearse, mate. Snapping like a rubber band. Time's up in the air, I got the upper hand. If you got other plans, I'ma deal with you ASAP, like shopper ranks. I'm working on my craft every second I have, to the point that my mouth is a weapon of mass destruction. When I get on the track, so when the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap.
Hey.
Go Ricky.
Yep. Ready, Dilz?
When the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap.
Here we go.
Let's go. Whoa. When the mic's in my hand, everybody get back, I snap. Naturally gifted. When I make a rap, I can actually gift it. It's like I'm rapping a present. When I have a mic, I will snap in your presence. I'm naturally gifted. When I make a rap, I can actually gift it. It's like I'm rapping a present. When I have a mic, I will snap in your presence.
Let's go.
How's that?
And that is the show, everyone. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Support the boy Dilz and Ricky. And that is the show. Stay safe. Peace.